Honestly, I feel like that is completely true because when a coach is negative to me, I definitely take that personally, and it definitely affects like my team and my teammates around me.
I definitely think coaches' mentality reflects off of their players. Like if they have a negative mentality going into it, the players are also going to have a negative mentality. If they have a positive mentality, the players will have like a positive mentality going into it.
I think that however a coach decides to coach, whether it's more aggressive or more direct, completely affects an athlete and their mental health and how they learn. It might not be right for them, so they could completely be turned off by that coach's coaching style, and it could have an effect on them.
I think it has a huge impact on how the athlete performs, whether it's a negative comments that the coach has or positive. Definitely affects how that player performs.
I definitely agree with that. I feel like if a coach is super positive, his positive energy will radiate to everyone else on the team.
Definitely. It's the same thing. Like if your coach is being negative and discouraging during practice, your mental health is going to plummet. Like it's not going to be good. If your coach is positive and they encourage you, it'll be the opposite.
Again, I agree that coaches can totally affect your mental health, whether it's through negative feedback sometimes or just their attitudes and their emotions and the environment that they create. It can have a big impact on your mental health as an athlete.
My club team, my coach was always so determined when going into practice with a great attitude, and we were actually like a really successful team. So I feel like it reflected off of her attitude.
Definitely. My previous coach was one of my best friends and had the most direct feedback and told you what you were doing right and told you things you could work on in a positive way, and it really made you want to get better.
Yes, it has. They affected by the way they coached or how they took things that harmed the team and was not beneficial.
Yeah, in the past, my coaches have always been super positive, and they create an environment that's so enjoyable to be in, and we've been very successful in an environment like that.
Honestly, for me, I think it's constructive criticism. I rather a coach like be straight up with me and honest about what I'm doing wrong and what I need to fix, rather than it being a guessing game.
I'd have to say constructive criticism because instead of it being sugar-coated, they give it to you straight, and it's good feedback.
I think very direct feedback from a coach, whether it's what they want you to do or a change of attitude. I think direct verbalization of that is really important to me, and not having to guess what they want.
I think constructive, both positive and negative, like having positive reinforcement, but being strict enough to understand that there's things that you can't get away with all the time.
I think a coach is very engaging. I really respond best to that because they give good feedback and they're constantly engaged with you.
My club coach, outside of academics and sports, she was all about like our team, like building trust together, and because of her, I made some of like the closest friends I've ever had.
I think most of the time in a positive way with my previous coach, but sometimes if a coach isn't positive or has a very negative attitude, you kind of tend to bring that home with you.
All my coaches have had such a positive impact on my life. They've always taught me so many life lessons that I've been able to use on and off the field.